Hello guys, hope you're having a great summer. I am. Of all these new orchids, couldn't be better. From Wichmann, Orchideen, German nursery. I'm very happy with the plants. The smaller ones were mature, almost all of them, and I got a couple of young plants, which weren't young plants, were flowering size, for free. So I'm very pleased, but I can't really tell which plant I like the most for the moment, but I guess you guys soon will be aware, just like I will be. It's all about the roots, isn't it? And it's also all about getting a sip of coffee before we proceed. I just took a nap, so I only slept a couple of hours last night, so I'm a bit, dizzy. So, and these plants, they have been sitting in my so-called isolation, yes, quarantine, from Wednesday evening, and now it is actually, yay, it's Wednesday again. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plants, whereof 2 were free, so actually 7 plants that I ordered, and this beautiful little jar of seedlings, Phragmipedium Vampire, yes, reminds you a bit of Acacallis. It's got a slightly differently colored pouch, yes, looks like it's got veinings all over the pouch, so I guess that's where the name came from, Vampire, veins. I'm just making stuff up here, I believe, or maybe there's some truth to it. Look at the condition of the plants. Just as great as Estonia, I swear. I recently did an update as well as a repotting Cattleya flask seedlings, so I don't think that's necessary to make very, very equal video so shortly after the other one. So no. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick look. Yeah, so these guys lost. Which one to start with? Yeah, here. This wasn't really the plant I thought it was. It's not as blue, but it's not purple. The camera is really catching the colors real badly. Maybe a little bit better now, but it's actually as close to blue as you can get. This part. But I thought that there would be a bit more blue color to the flowers, as the one I had before, no longer with us. And I'm soon about to tell you why it's no longer with us. Anyways, it's a gorgeous plant, and a little bit fragrant. Arrived, as you can see, with 2 spikes. I never heard of this genus. Acacallis Rhein Blue Angel. Yes, so it should be blue, but there's a bit much green in it. I haven't been very lucky with my former ones. So rotted at the base. So I've learned my lesson and found out the reason why it happened. Yes. I think I'm doing better. Look. This equals very, very mushy roots in the end. Eventually, its roots will become mushy in this kind of medium. Yes, it's just a fact. Not at their place, perhaps. Looks great. But here, won't be so great. So, there's a suitable down there as well. Half of the plant is down there. What's the point, really? So, very easy. All I need to do is shake it off. A whole lot. It's peat, or whatever it is. Yes. These guys we do not need. Yeah. It's the oldest part of the plant here. So I think this is top notch. some kind of zygo. Now I'm trying to expose its next growth, yes, or something like that, and prevent water to be stuck underneath the sheath here and to cause rotting. That's what always happens if I do not take precautions, as I'm doing right now. So, yes. Yeah, my other really blue one, I do not remember its name, but I can give you a pop-up if I remember it. Was the one I was after. I mean, this one looked like the other one, my old one, on the picture. So, you can see the picture in the web shop doesn't really match up, yeah, with the color and color combination of these guys. So, but it's alright. These long roots will die off in a new medium. So I'm going to cut them off. Here. So, that's great. Good thing I decided to repot it. There's an earwig. Down there. Which I do not want to have in my kitchen. I wonder why these guys always are so extremely weak. Not much of the root system left, is it? There were many soggy roots that looked alright, but they weren't. Yes? Yeah, I'm going to show you guys something. This is my old one. The one I almost lost was Zygopetalum Louisendorf. First I lost the Zygonesia, with a pop-up name, due to rotting to the pseudobulb down there. Was in bloom, yeah. You can imagine my rage when I found out what happened. But look here, I repotted this guy without these two new ones. Yes, one on its way, yeah, but not much else on these leafless ones. Into this 10 or 11 centimeter pot with loads of perlite, yes, and simply medium grade bark. Now look at the root development. Something else, yeah. And what I did, I never watered it up there all the way to the top, or I should say to the base of the pseudobulbs. No way water could easily get into the cheese down there, yes, and rot it off. So I've been really careful, and only huge pieces of bark on top. So, this is this concept I'm going to use for the other one as well. Been really careful with the watering. But still, I'm going to use the same size, as you can see that there will be something new very shortly. So, let's mimic the other one's setup, shall we? Some bark. And that one needs to be dip watered at least twice a week. Up there to there at a maximum, so the new bark will eventually be saturated enough, a little bit more than it is today. It's very dry as it's new. Cannot take up the moisture yet all that much as a little bit older bark medium can. So, right, like I always do, I'm going to add some charcoal. Yes, I will. Just a little bit. It will probably be flushed out anyway, but loads of perlite. Yes. And I'm going to saturate it with a little tiny bit of water. It's really ugly to breathe in this perlite dust. It's quite bad for you, I guess. So, yeah. Right. Let's see now. Yeah. So, let's see now. So we do not add too much medium. A bit of the perlite will be washed out anyways. But not far too high up, so it will rot. But it needs to cover the roots as well. So I think this will be fine. And yeah, not the best of plants. But they are never great. Very, very seldom. At least these leaves. Terrible. Oh, she's soon gonna recover and cope with her new setup. But very, very careful with the watering. Yes? Yes. This is Acacallis Rain Blue. Angel. So, I believe that the same thing really goes for this Miltonidium, Dr. Peter Komp as well. I think this guy's color combination and pattern to the flowers are very striking. I would like to get one in bloom, or get one to bloom, into bloom one day. Yeah, I bought from Wichmann Orchideen a couple of years ago. Very poor one, without any roots. Didn't look much for the world. Yeah, I tried to keep it in semi-hydro. Yeah, that failed. It was a very, very weak plant from the start. And what did happen was that it only produced tiny, tiny new growth and short roots, which didn't really make it down through the top layer of gravel. Yes, so you should never transition a very, very weak plant. Wait until it gets a good root system before you do something stupid like that. But I tried it out. Yeah, I was so eager. As you can see, this one doesn't carry a whole lot better root system either than the old one I had. So maybe it's a finicky one, or it just didn't like it where it came from, or whatever. The manufacturer. These roots are quite soft, and these roots will die off. They are quite mushy, but there are a few new ones coming there, and there is something down there. New growth, perhaps, but I'm not so very impressed of the root systems this far. Yes, and these guys. I'm gonna cut it off. Yes, it's soggy. What do I need soggy roots for? I will only rot in there. Makes the medium decompose faster than it normally would have. So yes, but a couple coming. But we've still got some work to do on this guy. Yeah. Oh, he's got a lot of work to do on himself. Yeah. I'm gonna wash him off. So guys, what we actually do have in front of us is a very, very not a good plant, but new growth at least. And I ordered a young plant since I thought that the flower size one was a bit too expensive. Yes, but still I got a flowering size one, so that's a great thing. Maybe this time around I will be able to keep it alive. Yeah. If these roots from its newest growth will grow further. Yes, and this one might develop from the old one, but we shall see. Yeah, so this is going to be a 9 centimeter pot, and there's going to be my regular mix of moss, charcoal, perlite and bark. Much more to it. It will need its moisture to get the new roots going. So I think it looks like I have small cans of old media mix everywhere. Old mixed medium. So for now, a little small pot until it establishes a new root system. There. quite weak, so not too much sun. Not too much of anything, actually. But, as I said before, my look order, it's not very nice to be needing, to be having to nurse a baby, a new, freshly bought orchid. But I haven't seen this variety anywhere else, and so maybe they are always of very, very poor quality, these guys. I don't really know what's in it. Maybe I should look it up and see a little bit why it's so fuzzy. But if I get it going, it might not be. We'll see. So, kind of regular departing with a lot of perlite, a bit of moss. And the lifting test. Yeah, he stays. So. Yes. In case I need that one. Someday. Yes. Right. Peter Komp. Yeah. So, what now? Yeah. This is my young plant of the Dowiana. Cattleya Dowiana, Aurea. I think it's from 18th of October 22. So 2.5 years ago. This one, yeah, must have grown very well. I think this one is the largest one I ever had. Yes, of this Dowiana type. I have another one in semi-hydro. Still trying to recover from being kept under far too much light. Lost almost all of its chlorophyll, so these guys do not need all that much light, not as much light as regular Cattleyas. So you know. This one is very, very well grown for €15.90. Yes, new growth. It's beautiful, quite flimsy, arching over all over the place. But what I did wrong each time, I treated it like a child, a little baby, and special handling, figuring it would be very, very finicky and fragile. Yes. So, special handling, special treatment, didn't get us anywhere. In fact, it got us nowhere. Very, very bad grown plants. So, this time around, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to clean off the whole root system. And she's going to stay in a clay pot with my spag and moss mixture, as all of the rest of my Cattleyas. This one is not going to get any special treatment. No intensive care, not at all. Only less light and less fertilizer in the winter, as it should be. When it's not in growing stage, it doesn't need much fertilizer, does it? Anyway, so it's quite obvious, really. This time I will not care. I had a few, yeah. I had it mounted, I have it in semi-hydro. Well, that one's still alive. Had them in bark, had it in, yeah, nah. But never treated it the way it should have, like the other ones. So, very, very dry root system. Should be watered a little bit. A little saucer. Yes, watered once a week from above. Drips down into the saucer. Yes, and then the water shall be evacuated by the clay pot. Here we have a little bit of bark and a little bit of perlite and moss. Miracle Orchid, that channel, when she was still uploading videos, she bloomed a Dowiana very nicely. Yes, in semi-hydro. So anything's possible, I guess, if the orchid is strong enough and well adapted. But if you receive them at a bad and poor quality state, it's always much more difficult to succeed. It's not really your fault, is it? So, Cattleyas in clay pots are so great. It's a great recipe. So, just great. A little bit to the bottom. I'll lift this flimsy orchid up. Yes, probably a couple of roots alive. I don't know how many, but we shall see. New growth to the middle, everywhere, falling to the sides, yeah. So yes, what can we do? At least, this is the oldest part, so that one we shall be pressing to the backside. This beautiful Dowiana, 1590. Can you believe it? Can you? That's very impressive. So, nice size. And the clay pot will allow the roots to actually breathe, be able to breathe, and so will the perlite. As you can see, it's a very good size one for being a young plant. So, as we say in Sweden, perhaps band-aid on the wounds for the delayed order and such. But anyway, she'll do fine. So, good. Dowiana, yeah, queen of Cattleyas, is now reported. Yay! These beautiful Phalaenopsis. I actually do think that I'm going to keep them in the bark. The Lueddemanniana and the Minimark. I'm going to give them a good watering, dip watering. Let's see. Hope there's no mealybugs lurking down there. So, this leaf is quite dry now. I haven't watered them. Nah, it's not so, no. It's not as great as it looked. Alright, it's gonna be repotted. Not so great roots on this one either. So, but maybe this one. It's got better roots. Poor roots on everything, yeah? Yes. Almost. And this one's root system looks a lot nicer. Don't you agree? So, and could be a little flower spike emerging. Can you see it? Or a second fan, perhaps. This one is a very bloom-willing, I think, hybrid. Yeah, so it bloomed constantly for me, my old one. Before it got, I think it got some kind of spider mites, yeah. That's quite unusual in here, but it did. Anyways, that's a nice plant. I like her. So she's going to be dip watered for a while. And she's not going to be repotted now. No, it's alright. Might as well use the rest of the mix. The perlite and stuff. So it won't be too soggy. But will keep the moisture. cut off old dead roots. Yeah, didn't have so many, so yeah, it's alright. She'll bounce back. No worries. There's a lot of perlite in this mixture. Will keep the air around the roots. Will be beneficial for a plant with this type of root system. Yes, poor root system. Provide airiness. We're not suffocated. So she needs to get her roots going and growing again very shortly. Yes. So. She still looks fresh. Her foliage is very, very nicely green colored, and she looks very healthy, except for root system. So this is how it's going to be. Yeah. And this Brassia are monsters of orchid. Yes, the monster of monsters. Brassia EV. I didn't know what that was, but I looked it up, and it stands for Eternal Wind. And the variation, Summer Dream. Oh, I was so curious. I hoped for it not to resemble the one I already got, the Brassia or Brasso or whatever. It's reclassified, renamed, but my Brassia Shelob Golden Spider, which currently is in bloom. I'm going to show that one to you guys, and I'm going to tell you a little story, yeah? Ta-da! Whoa, where did this little one go? Oh, here she is. This is my Bretonia or Brassia, formerly known as Brassia. Recently reclassified, I guess, or renamed. Still Brassia Spider Orchid. Yeah, that spike opened up yesterday. This spike is still on its way. Still got this little bud. I like him. I like them quite a lot. They are quite smashing, even from a very long distance. Yes. Kept in, of course. Moss and bark mixture needs to be watered. Yeah. It was recently repotted, I think in March. Since this one has been a monster, not long ago. It's been 5 or 6 times the size of what it is today. I divided it and sold all of the pieces at the auction. And people actually wanted it. It was quite desirable for being this sized orchid, or due to the fact that it is this size of an orchid. You see what I mean? I am so happy. 2 sparks. Still blooming. Last summer it came out with only 3 sparks. Bear in mind that it had 6 more sections. Yeah, 6 times the size, yeah. So it didn't harm this, didn't affect it at all. Even though this guy's blooms reminds you a lot of the golden spider. Doesn't matter. They are so bloom willing, and they thrive in here. As you saw. I bet this guy will thrive as well, but it needs 1 or 2 more years before it's able to bloom. But it's a free plant. I'm happy for it, and I can divide it after a couple of years into a number of sections and sell if it's growing out of my apartment. Now look, it's in growing stage, and well, I think it's totally fine in there for now. I don't need to fuss about with it. It's bark, and bark is bark. Just gonna wait for these guys to be a little bit taller and grow out of its pot. I mean, these guys are very, very resilient. Of course, in case of something lurking, but nah. I have a feeling there is none down there. But I need to stake it a bit. It's quite flimsy. So, but after that, I'm going to use the same kind of mixture of bark, perlite, charcoal, and moss as I did for the other one. My old Brassia, golden spider, I kept in simple bark. And this one is receiving a lot more moisture and is blooming better. This lovely blooming is also due to the fact that I finally extincted the scale insects on them. Yeah, they were eating the flowers all of the time, so these are very nice flower spikes. Right, we do have these two guys. These two Fragmipediums. Vampire Slayer. Funny name. It's created by the Orchid web guys, the Fisher family. And they were expecting a smaller plant with red, very, very reddish flowers. Yes. And I guess they succeeded. And we have another one. Fragmipedium Devil's Rose. Yeah, scary stuff all the way. Yeah, look. There's a little new growth coming there. Can you see? Camera will focus for us, please. Yeah, it's not one. There are 2 new growth there. 3 even. And that's great. So, and for this guy, not much coming. What do we want to do with these guys? Yeah, I have my other frags like this. Some kind of false semi-hydro. Perlite and bark, charcoal, with simply a tiny layer of moss to upper layer of moss. And I really do not know how long they've been there, staying in that kind of medium. Actually gonna add a bit of grow stones into the mixture. Minerals, yay, minerals. So, charcoal like usual. But I will not exceed the amount of moss this time. I'm going to use the rest of the seedling mix I bought from some nursery, I do not remember which. So, a bit more calcareous soil this time, yes. Some eggshells, you can see. These guys need calcium from wherever they came from. So, looks strange, but this is how it's going to be. This kind of pot. Maybe a little bit overpotted, but I'm not afraid. Actually afraid of what's going to happen if I do not remove the old medium. So, let's not mix them up. So, this is what its root system look like. Some are, of course, dead. But, yeah, it's only natural. Yeah, what caught my eye was really these two and these guys. Looking really great. On the other hand, so, not so worried. And these guys likes to be repotted any time of the year. But I think this time, this is, it's really nice. Since it's actually an active growth. And that means something really. A lot of new growth. There will be a lot of new roots this summer. So, don't mind losing a few. But what I notice is that these guys do not like shift in conditions. Yes? What I mean by conditions, I'm referring to humidity. Yes. They will really suffer. So no outside stay on the balcony this year, even though it would have been doing them some good for starters, but not later on. Normally, frags are potted up in very, shall we say, high pots. But these guys, they are so small and tiny. That one we can start considering in a couple of years. Until then, these pots will do just fine. So, we don't need to make it a very, very large pot. And I do not think that this orchid will crumble after this repotting. They love a bit of fresh medium around the roots, some new oxygen. I'm going to add on a little layer of moss. Oh, yeah. So, not too close to the new growth, yes. Not too much water, moisture next to the new growth. They can easily rot for you instead of rolling at this stage. So be careful, all right? Perfect. Yeah, just like the other ones. There, on the trees. Into a little saucer of its own. I can simply pour water over it. Well, this one is, as I said in the unboxing video, a young plant. And this one isn't. It's a flowering size. Has been blooming from that one. You can see. And, well, same thing goes for this one, of course. The Vampire Slayer. Yes. One I would have wanted to have the best roots. But it hasn't. No. Yeah, a couple of sturdy roots, but nothing new really coming yet, but there will be. So, same procedure. Ah, yeah, one little new root there. Not much. A couple are very dead. So, well, looks okay. Decent. Yes. There will be new ones from these two guys. Yeah. Yay! There's a little one there. That's great. Great news. Let's be careful. That little one. So, good. Yeah, you don't need to see this repotting. So, last plant up on the table is a hybrid Angraecum Veitchii, well known. Yeah, it's a cross between Angraecum Ebonium and I think Angraecum sesquipedale. Yeah, a huge orchid and a little bit smaller one. So they're trying to get something, achieve getting something medium sized, I believe. But this guy, I've seen this blooming this size, so available at the orchid show. So yeah, it's well grown. And these guys do not like to be repotted, I've heard. And so it shall not be. You can see. Or, can we see? Yeah, we can see. Is it mold? Is it calcium? Is it mealybugs? Or, I'm not sure, actually. But I will flush it a bit. But I do not think I will tangle up the root system. It will hurt the orchid more than a couple of meal as well. I can assure you, yeah. This time around, it's not going to be sitting in semi-hydro, even though it works. I feel like trying something different with a high pot. You can see the very, very expandable root system is growing nicely. Look. And I would like to keep it that way. So, it's going to be a high, actually, a rose pot. Yes. A bit high pot. And will be, of course, as for Angraecums, a lot of aerial roots will follow. But now I try to do as little disturbance as possible to this orchid. Before, when I transitioned a few Angraecums into semi-hydro, I normally did a soft one. They were sitting in pure spag in this moss bowl, so impossible to get rid of the moss without destroying the root system utterly. So that's why I just simply stack it down there, as it's been used to be sitting in a water retentive medium, such as moss, but not in this case. It's a little bit different. We're sitting in bark. So the clay pot will dry out the medium a little bit faster, makes the roots breathe, and the high pot will allow the roots to go down. So, yeah, easy peasy. and all of the good perlite roots won't be suffocated. Yes? So, let's find a good stake. It's quite flimsy, this orchid, as you can see. Flimsy and it's everywhere due to the Ebonium trait. Yes, that's a very, very flimsy orchid. Quite difficult. I cannot grow that one, but, well, one day maybe I can. So, if this method is lucky, I will try this method on the Ebonium as well. Alright? So, as you can see, very flimsy. They do have quite soft leaves. Bosserii, something totally different. For example. But this comes from the Ebonium trait, one of the largest Angraecoid orchids there is out there. Here you can see my little teeny weeny Bosserii. Oh yeah. Expansive root system. And here you can also see my Dowiana, still with a poor color to its leaves. New growth, alive but stalling. So, well. Now you can see how tall these guys can grow. And I have yet another one. I have a crestwood as well. Is there? I brought it out today. In order to trigger it. The fluctuation in temperatures will trigger the blooming, so it always does for the Bosserii, so I figured why not for this guy as well. So it's going to stay here for a bit until it rewards with a spike. I might as well just bring the Bosserii out as well. So here he is. Yeah. And I bet you guys within a couple of weeks this one will spike for us. And this time I won't bring it inside as soon as I see a bud. Yeah, this will happen. Yeah. I'm going to show you guys something else. Just one more thing before we leave. Yeah. This is also an Angraecum orchid. It's my Magdalene, small Angraecum orchid with quite, in comparison, huge flowers. Do you see what I see? I discovered it today. Yes. It's been there, looking like that, for at least 8 months' time. Yeah, can you believe it? And a little kiki and a spike. First time spiking. Yeah, I've had this orchid for quite some time now, and it's never been doing well until I discovered that it might need a bit of, it would like a bit of cooler temperatures and a bit more light. And so, yeah, that's what I gave her. And look what happened. Change in conditions. From one room to another. 10 meters away. No, not even 10 meters. 5 meters away. And this might happen. Yeah, I'm going to deal with the seedlings. Yeah, I still got the seedlings left. So I'm just going to take a quick look at them. All right. And for the seedlings, like I did, as I did for the Cattleyas, coconut husk fiber, and there surely will be some perlite. No worries. Yeah. And this speed, the perlite will be finished again. Seashells a little bit, not to make it too acidic. So, good. I'm gonna pre-wet it a bit. Will be easier to work with. This tray, like this. I have a few. I have this type. I have one of this kind as well. See? Yeah, could work. I'm going to use the water in my watering can. It's been standing in my kitchen for a couple of days. gonna reduce the chloramid a bit. And that's the water I'm gonna use to clean off the little paths. Yeah. Here they are. 28. It says I'm not sure. 28 of December. Don't ask me. I do not know what it means. Oh look. Yeah. Beautiful little jar. Oh yeah. Just like a ship. You'll never find out how they put the ship in there. Yeah. It's almost similar feeling. But look. A little ball. Well, agar, yeah. Some kind of algae originally. This agar. So, and you use it for puddings as well. To keep the pudding together. It's vegan. Might I add? If you're a vegan, that's a good alternative to, as we call it, gelatin. Made from animal bones. So now just blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh shit. How do we start? Yeah. So yeah. Just want to separate this lot in 2 pieces. Yeah. Is it possible? Yeah, in a way. Without losing roots, yeah, could be. I need to separate them. They're very, shall we say, it must have been there for a while. Yeah, quite a long time, to be honest. I guess this is why they always seem to be potting these guys up in 3, in sections of 3, and sell. It's a young path, yeah. It's very difficult to separate without destroying. Yeah. Give me 1 at least. Oh Lord. So that's why they always come. A bunch of 3. Looks like a very, very tiny one. It becomes alone. So add on a couple of more and it will look fuller. So maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm not sure. I need to separate them. But what's going to happen is much easier to baby Phragnipediums than Cattleyas. Yeah, at least they grow quite fast as well, these guys. So, can you see? It's going to take quite a long time, I assume. So, you see? And cover the roots, of course. So, that will be another project to follow. So, it's going to take me all night. So, well, I'm going to end this video here and now. I'm just going to tell you that I'm grateful that you stayed with me all the way to the end. Take care, and you guys, we shall talk soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.